Hey there, Josh here, founder of HR University, and in this video, we're going to go ahead and take a look at how AI can help you create surveys for the different departments, whether you want an engagement survey, whether you want an employee feedback survey, and much more. So how can AI help you create a survey that you can send out to your employees, team members, maybe stakeholders and executives? Let's go ahead and dive in and see how it can do just that. This is ChatGPT here. It's an AI tool that we're going to be using to help you create surveys. Now, ChatGPT is one of the more popular AI tools out there, and it's free to use. Again, just ChatGPT. That's all you got to do when you go to Google, type it in, and you'll get taken here. It's free, so you can just go in and start creating prompts, and those prompts will create outputs. Now, what does that mean? Well, let's start with a simple prompt, which is create an employee engagement survey for, let's say, for a marketing department. Now, ChatGPT is going to go ahead and do just that. And right now it's analyzing what I asked it to do, and then it's going to relay an output. Sometimes the outputs are rather fast, sometimes the outputs take a little bit of time, just depending on what you're asking and how complicated it is. But most of the time, it really doesn't take longer than about 5 to 15 seconds for ChatGPT to start writing. Now, as you can see, it's already personalizing to that segment of the prompt I put in, which is marketing department. And that makes it more useful for me to use because when we often have employee engagement surveys, they're sent out to certain departments and they often differ from department to department. And we need to accompany that. And we can also niche down further. So we can say create an employee engagement survey for certain types of team members within the marketing department or new hires in the marketing department. So we can get very specific on who we want to gear this to. And that enables us to have a great employee engagement survey that we can then use. And one thing to note is that ChatGPT, what it does when it's writing out these questions is that it's not always going to write out the same questions if you put in the same prompt again. So if I went ahead and typed in the same prompt, it may output a separate list of questions. They may still be great questions. It just is not going to be the same, even though the prompt was the same. And that's often because ChatGPT is pulling from a lot of data. It's also a good thing, meaning that you could ask even more questions. So let's say ChatGPT only gives you 10 questions and you want 20 questions in your engagement survey. Well, you can use the other 10 questions it generates by just typing in that prompt again and combine them to have 20 questions to then ask your team members, employees, department members, whoever it may be. Now, one of the things that is important for us to do as HR professionals is to codify a lot of the answers. The answers, when we can codify them, which means just being able to put a 1 to 5 or a certain number to the answer, enables us to put survey data, so what we collect from surveys, into an HRIS system, so human resource information management system. And when we're able to do that, we can then analyze the data. Because if someone writes 3 paragraphs on how likely they are to recommend the marketing department as a great place to work to a friend or colleague, well, what ends up happening is how do you store that data and how can you then average out the responses to be like, oh, wow, most people within this department would recommend. And if it's a big department, well, it's going to be hard to look at all that data and read through all those responses unless you codify it and you put it on a scale of 1 to 5. And it does say on a scale of 1 to 5. But for those that don't do that, we do have to codify. So do you feel that the marketing department values and prioritize diversity and inclusion? So if someone writes a paragraph to this, we're going to need to codify it. And a really great response, we may say, and put it as a 5. So 5 would be what we would most likely want, which means that the marketing department feels that the company prioritizes diversity and inclusion. Now, let's go ahead and check out some other surveys that we can generate here. So another survey that we can generate is an employee performance survey. So I'll say create an employee performance survey for a sales team with a high performing sales team. And let me add a few more details. Create a detailed employee performance survey. So adding a few adjectives like this can make a big difference in the outcome with high quotas. And for high performing sales team, for a new high performing sales team with high quotas. And let's do like that. There we go. Now, here I was pretty specific with what I was asking. So take a look. We're going to get something that's geared toward what I was asking, and it's going to relay with a level of specificity that was in my prompt. So the better prompts that you ask, the better outcome you're going to receive. As you can see, we have 14 different questions that we can ask in this employee performance survey, which is really going to help us get the data that we want to collect. And we can take this a bit further. So we could say, write an email that promotes and links to this employee performance survey. You gotta specify who it's going to. Write an email to the sales team that promotes and links to this employee performance survey, asking them to fill it out within the next 2 weeks. So now we can also have a lot of our communication done for us. Now, this may not be a perfect email, but it's at least going to give us a head start and brainstorming what an email may look like that we're sending to the sales team. And it's going to give us a foundation for having momentum when it comes to communication with our team members and stakeholders, and enabling us to just respond faster and to get more work done. So by using ChatGPT and other AI tools, we can simply generate a lot of foundational outlines, templates, and things that we could use right off the bat. So rather than going through your Google Drive or going to Google and typing in employee survey template and going through all the different templates to try to find something that's personalized to you, just ask ChatGPT to personalize the template for you, and it'll give you that personalized template. And as you can see here, it does provide this personalized email template that we can then use to promote this survey, and we're ready to rock and roll and send it out. So there you have it. We just went over how you can use AI to help you send out surveys effectively and also create surveys effectively. And that way you can keep better track of where your teams are at, how your departments are performing, overall company culture, and much more. Pretty much any data you collect with a survey, AI can help you with that and help you communicate it. And if you have any questions about the tutorial that we just went through, make sure to drop in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video on how AI can help you become a better HR professional, make sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel at HR University here. And that way you can keep up to date with all of our future videos and lessons and much more. And I'll go ahead and see you on some of those other videos as well. Cheers.